On episode 35 of the TD Nation Kickstart Show, we talk about something I personally struggled with, sugar and food addiction. What's up, TD Nation? Welcome to episode 35 of the TD Nation Kickstart Show. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on here and done a Kickstart show. We've been doing several, if you haven't seen, the TD Nation Quickies, which are just like 2 minutes. But these TD Nation shows are so important, so we can just dive a little bit more into certain issues. And today we have a good one as a topic. This came up in the TD Nation Facebook group. Someone asked about sugar addiction and food addiction and how to fight that. So that's what I want to talk about today. It's a great topic. It's one that I personally have struggled with and struggled with a lot when I first began my fitness journey. So I want to kind of let you guys in to a piece of my story and let you know how I overcame food addiction and sugar addiction. And sometimes I still struggle with it. You know, it's ups and downs, but so kind of take you guys back, and I'll just tell you, like, this is getting like real personal, but it's important to my story. So when I was growing up, my father was an alcoholic, had a very, very bad addiction to alcohol, and luckily I didn't grow up with him in the same household with him after I was 5. So from 5 to all the way through high school, I didn't have much of a relationship with my father because my mom knew the situation and left, and probably mainly to protect myself and my sister. But I watched my father go through that alcohol addiction, and I know how hard addiction is. Luckily, myself, I've never been addicted to drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But I can say that I have tendencies to addictive qualities. So like whether it's work, whether it's working out, whether it's sugar, those are things I love. I'm definitely 110% in and very consumed with those things. So, I can't imagine what my father went through. He's no longer alive, but I can't imagine what he went through and how hard it was to battle that. And so I really empathize with people who are addicted to cigarettes or drugs or alcohol. I know that it's just a lot of times it can feel like it's out of your control, like you're not even running your own body. So we need to talk about it. We need to talk about sugar addiction and how to fight that. And the first thing I want to tell you guys is I'm far from a therapist. So there may be some underlying issues where you need to see a therapist, you need to talk to a therapist about these issues. So if that's you, then do that. I'm just going to share with you guys, how I was able to overcome sugar addiction and start losing weight, and things that helped me and things that I've learned from the 5 years that I've been doing this. So when I started out working out and decided to lose weight, one of the hardest things for me was overcoming a sugar addiction. And I'm not going to argue whether sugar addiction is real. It's real. It's a fact. They've done studies. They've done tests. They've done MRIs showing that the reward centers of your brain light up in the same areas as people who take cocaine and heroin. So it's a very real thing that causes the reward centers of your brain to light up when you eat sugar. And that's something that happened to me when after I would eat dinner, I would always really have a strong craving for sugar. And if there wasn't something like a treat in the house, Oreos, ice cream, whatever. I'd get in the car and I'd drive to the gas station. I'd get a candy bar. And it consumed me. Like, it was so hard. Like, I couldn't think of anything else after dinner except getting some type of sugar. So breaking that habit was really, really tough for me. So here's what I did. And before I tell you what I did, understand that this worked for me. There are two types of people, I think. There are the people who can go cold turkey and cut out sugar and overcome that sugar addiction. There are also people who, if they go cold turkey, they might go a couple weeks, a couple months, and then they are going to binge eat like nobody's business. And that's a real eating disorder. And that's personally what I went through. When I started my fitness journey, I cut out everything and I'd go a couple months really good. And then I'd have a day where I just lost it and I would binge eat on sugar. And that's really tough. It's a really hard thing. Of course, you feel like crap the next day. You realize what sugar does to your body. But what's worked for me, and this might be the other part of the equation, if you're somebody who can eat a cookie and it not trigger that switch where you've got to eat cookies until you get sick, then if it fits your macros, IIFYM might be the perfect solution for you, where you can say, okay, I really want a bowl of ice cream. I'm gonna control my portion of ice cream, 2 scoops. I'm gonna fit that into my calories and macros. I know it's mostly carbs and fats, so I'm gonna go lower on carbs and fats earlier in the day. I'm gonna fit this bowl of ice cream in later. And that is good enough for you. You can fit those things in on occasion and still make progress. So sometimes, if it fits your macros, is a perfect solution for people, but sometimes it's not. So you're just going to have to figure out what's best for you. I can just tell you what I did in my early stages. In my early stages, I went cold turkey. I couldn't do it. I would binge eat, and it didn't work for me. As I learned and as time went on and as I learned about if it fits your macros, I was able to say, okay, I'm really craving sugar today. I'm going to have 3 Oreos tonight and fit those into my calories and macros. That will keep me from binge eating. And that's worked for me for a couple years now. That's been my go-to. And that's what we teach. It's what we teach in the boot camps. We teach you guys how to count your calories and macros so that you can make it a lifestyle and fit those things in. But if you're somebody who can't stop at 3 cookies, then, I don't have the answer for you. If you can't go cold turkey. It's something where you're going to have to see a therapist or talk to your doctor or talk to somebody way more qualified to me than to help you with those issues. For me, it was just time. When I started out in my fitness journey, I couldn't do that. If I had 1 cookie, I had to have 10. But as I've got fit and healthier, I've been able to manage that, and now I can do it. Now, that's not to say that occasionally I don't slip up and have more than I probably should. That still happens. We use the analogy all the time, don't burn your car if you get a flat tire. And that fits here. The key is consistency over time is going to produce results. If you have 1 bad day in a week or 1 bad day in a month, don't just say, well, I just can't do this and burn the car. Get back at it the next day, forgive yourself, do the best you can, keep plugging along, and you'll beat it. But it's not something where you're going to be perfect. And I think far too many people just expect that they're going to be perfect. So when they're not, they burn the car. So that would be my biggest piece of advice to you today is just don't burn the car. Now, if you're going to go cold turkey, here's some things I would do to balance out your hormones, regulate your blood sugar. I would do this if you're doing IIFYM too. This is just something everybody should be doing. Have balanced meals. 3 balanced meals a day, 2 snacks if you want. Doesn't matter frequency of meals really, but 3 is probably best for most people. 3 balanced meals, and by balance I mean a good ratio of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. You want half of your plate to be unlimited non-starchy vegetables. So like green beans, broccoli, asparagus, all those things are great. A quarter of your plate lean protein, so chicken, turkey, fish, you know that. The other quarter of your plate being whole grains, so brown rice, quinoa. It could even be a starchy vegetable like a sweet potato. If you stick to those things, if you do that 3 times a day, you're going to regulate your hormones, you're going to regulate your blood sugar, you're not going to have as bad of food cravings. Just make sure you're eating mostly whole foods, and that's really going to help you overcome those sugar cravings and that food addiction. That's it. I think if you follow those things, that it'll really help you. But you got to decide if you're a person that's got to go cold turkey, or if you're a person that's going to try IIFYM. And again, cold turkey, I found, can often lead to binge eating. So just be careful. But then again, IIFYM also, if you're fitting 3 cookies in, some people can't turn off that switch, and it also leads to binge eating. So it's a very complicated issue, and it varies from person to person. But the good news is you can do this. You can overcome it. I've been able to overcome it just by eating balanced meals, by working out, by figuring out cold turkey wasn't for me, by adapting an IIFYM lifestyle. And it's worked perfect for me, and it's helped me keep my weight off through all these years. So I hope that helps, guys. If you're a therapist in the group, or if you have experience with this, if you've talked to therapists, or if you've dealt with, or if you've struggled with food addiction and sugar addiction, post below. I'm sure, I know with our 2,200 TD Nation members, we have a lot of people in here that struggle with it. And I just want to really reach out to you guys and tell you guys not to beat yourselves up. This isn't a willpower issue. This isn't you're a weak person issue. This is a legitimate issue where eating sugar and eating highly processed food triggers the same reward centers in our brain as cocaine and heroin. It's a very difficult thing to overcome. But with the support of TD Nation, I know you can do it. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I'm not a therapist, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help you. I'm just sharing some tips that helped me overcome it. That's it, guys. So let's talk. One of the most important things we do in TD Nation is our boot camps, our nutritional boot camps. It's 4 weeks. We give you guys an ebook. It's got 3 weeks of meal plans, and we teach you guys how to determine the proper amount of calories you need for your goals, whether you're at a calorie deficit trying to lose body fat, or whether you're at a calorie surplus trying to add lean muscle mass. We teach you guys how to do that. We teach you the proper amounts of calories, of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And we give you guys 3 weeks of meal plans with amazing recipes. We don't do any fear mongering, so there's nothing cut out. We don't cut out dairy. We don't cut out anything. We, in fact, we even have a fast food choice of the week in there. If you're running around and life gets in the way and you got to stop at McDonald's or whatever, we give you guys healthy alternatives. We show you guys how to fit those places into your meal plan, so you don't have to walk into McDonald's with a Tupperware container of chicken, broccoli, and rice. We just teach you guys how to make this a lifestyle so that you can succeed long term. And we teach you guys how to eat. We don't want you starving. You don't have to starve yourself to lose weight. So it's the most important thing we do in TD Nation. That's why we made it extremely cheap and free for most people. If you want to do it, the entire year is $25. $25, that goes to your coach. And you get to go through our 4-week boot camps for entire 2016 and work it all out, and we help you every step of the way. There's accountability in those groups. They're smaller groups. You get to fill out a form every week, let us know how you're doing. We get to see your progress and check in with you and help you if you're having a hard time. And if you've bought Shakeology, if you're on Shakeology, if you bought a challenge pack, so Shakeology and a Beachbody program, then you get to do it for free. And the reason we did that is because we know the people who are going to succeed, are most likely to succeed, are on Shakeology and doing a Beachbody program, because they tell you exactly step by step what muscle groups to work them, when to rest. The Shakeology gives you the right amount of probiotics, prebiotics, phytonutrients, adaptogens. You're getting everything your body needs to run at optimal levels. We've put 1,500 people through, a little over 1,500 people through the boot camps now. On average, the average person lost over 2 pounds per week, which is just incredible. We want you losing, half a pound to 2 pounds a week. Not anything more than that unless you're extremely overweight. If you're extremely overweight, that 3 to 5 is fine. But for most people, 0.5 to 2 pounds a week. If you're losing 2 pounds a week, that's going to be 104 pounds in a year. Most people don't have 104 pounds to lose. We want you eating as much as possible while losing weight so that your metabolism remains healthy, because without metabolism, you're dead in the water. So we want you eating, feeling full, and having tons of energy in your workouts. And if you're just starving yourself and doing nothing but cardio, you're going to feel like crap. You're not going to be able to make this a lifestyle. And we're doing nothing if we can't help you guys make this a lifestyle. So anyway, feel free to comment below. I would love to hear everybody's thoughts and how you're dealing with food addiction. And especially if you've got any therapists in the group or anybody that's talked to therapists, post below. And just keep kicking butt, guys. Keep supporting each other. And we will talk to you next week. Later, guys.